200 years ago, Americans fought a revolution.
Welcome to On Second Thought. I'm Stephanie Stampher, co-hosting tonight. This is where William Wagener gives us second thoughts on the unconstitutional acts of our local, state, and federal officials in hope that you will learn how to take back America from the unconstitutional acts of the socialists of our New World Order. And they're bent on enslaving the world through the banking system and world wars. Now for the good guy in the white hat, William Wagener.
Thank you, Stephanie. Taking off the white hat for you people. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I don't know what to say, but what just happened in Los Angeles County Judicial District almost leaves me speechless. I mean, they're calling out military police to contain civilian people at courthouses in Alabama. The whole judicial district in Los Angeles County, 450 judges were found guilty of wrongdoing by taking money from one entity which never lost a lawsuit through 06, 07, and 08, except for one jury verdict lawsuit they lost. That's why you don't let private parties on one side give huge amounts of money to one side. In the old days, I don't know if our guest with us tonight, Roger Weidner, remembers this. In the old days, each party came up with a $50 judge fee, and you both paid them equal amount of money. I remember those days in my state when I was very, very young, and you had to pay the judge's fee. It was called court fee, and that paid for the judge to make a decision when you finally got done. We're going to let Gary Zerman explain that later. It's just a tragedy. I think America now has come to a complete, openly fascist state. There is no question about it. The day of checks and balances between the three branches of government are gone. They're gone, people. Those teachers in high school and civics that tell you, there's the legislature keeps a check on the judicial, and the judicial keeps a check on the presidency and the executive or the governor, and the three branches keep each other from getting out of control. Gone, because when Attorney Fine won in the appellate court of California, the legislature just said, oh, really? We can't have 450 judges found wrongdoing and maybe have to go to jail. So they passed a midnight legislation a few days later, basically retroactively making legal what was illegal for a judge to take emoluments from one party and never disclose that to all the parties coming before them. So illegal, in my opinion. But you know what? We have a former prosecutor who's somewhat neutral because he's not from California. So this isn't particularly his jurisdiction where he practiced, but he's a former prosecutor from Oregon.
No, you said it right.
You said it right.
I'm so angry about our legislature helping the judges get away with what I call treason. 450 judges need to be tried for high treason because they hired a lobbyist to get the legislature to make okay. Roger Weidner, welcome to On Second Thought again. I'm glad you're here with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Well, is
that illegal to make something retroactively legal that was illegal?
Well, I haven't looked at all of the facts in the case, but when you're going in and retroactively legitimating activity, it has such an odor to it because it breaks down what you were mentioning. It breaks down the check and balance mechanism that's in the system, William. As you know, I'm a former attorney, public prosecutor. I've been in the business over 45 years, either studying or practicing law. I'm a historian. I'm a constitutional scholar. I'm as knowledgeable as can be about the laws that pertain to the people here in this state and this country. And what people have lost sight of, and particularly those in our government, William, they have lost sight, and the people have allowed it, they've lost sight of the limitations on government. In this country, 220 years ago, there was a war that was fought, and the citizens were declared the sovereign authority. That is the cornerstone principle in this country, the sovereignty of the citizenry. And those citizens that are working are divided into two groups: public employees and private employees. And if they're a public employee and elected or appointed to office, as all of these judges are, before assuming the duties of their office, William, that's what they're paid to perform, and receiving payment for performing the duties of their office, they must take and subscribe and file with the Secretary of State, if they are a public magistrate, an oath of office where they solemnly swear to uphold and defend the Constitution. I have here with me, I have the copy of Judge James Regalia's oath of office. This is what all these judges must, the oath that they must take.
Judge James Regali.
Regali, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without mental reservation or purpose or evasion, and that I will and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. And all of those constitutions, both the state constitution here in California and in Oregon, which I'm familiar with, but the federal constitution places limitations on the government. That's what the first 10 amendments are. They are the Bill of Rights. It says these things you cannot do, government. And it lists those. But it's the 14th Amendment, I think, that is so appropriate here. And it says, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which abridges the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law, William. Now that is what they swear to do, William. They have just jettisoned that and believe now that they can do and say and do whatever they want to do. They become tyrants. Now, if the people, listeners, please read the Declaration of Independence and read why the Declaration was signed. That where they say that they've petitioned in the most humble way for redress of grievance. I've been petitioning for redress of grievance for 21 years.